Welcome back, everybody. You listen to the Discus Lariat Collective podcast. I'm your host, Warren, here with Glenn. Time for WrestleMania predictions.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, so obviously, as Daryl said, Christmas time for our wrestling fans. So, yeah, we'll just get straight into it. So we'll just start off. I'll read in terms of Wikipedia anyway, the way they have the match listed. They have them listed basically arse backwards. So for the main event of night one, it says it's the tag team turmoil match. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I'll read it. Yeah, arse up then. So time to get some predictions. So we'll start with the fatal or the tag team turmoil fatal four-way kind of tag match. So we have Lana and Naomi versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina, and then possibly Carmella and Billie Kay. That one hasn't been confirmed yet. So if you want to take all five into account, go for it. But who do you think is winning this match? Winner gets a title shot at night two.
My booking across the board is going to be fairly predictable with the writing on the wall, and not because I'm trying to be smart or businessy or anything like that. It's all to do with the fact that they have not given a shit about this Mania, it feels like, and they definitely don't give a bollocks about the women's tag team division. So immediately I'm going with Natalya and Tamina to take home the W, and I also think they're going to take the titles then on night two.
Yeah, we're all actually kind of in agreement about whoever wins the turmoil match will go and win the tag titles. I think it's going to be. I just think it's going to be Riot Squad just to kind of have an actual tag team holding it. I can see Natalya and Tamina though, and Daryl came up with a little crazy kind of idea with the likes of was it Billie Kay? He'll be looking around for Carmella, being like, "Oh, has she reviewed my CV yet?" kind of thing, and then that's where you should bump into Peyton Royce, and they'll get thrown into the match, and we'll get the what you call it, the Iconics back together, which would be amazing, to be honest.
I wish WWE's booking was that good.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
So we'll move on anyway. Next match, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Guaranteed to be a banger. Who do you reckon?
My money's on Big C, as always. To be fair, Rollins has a great track record at Mania, so the likelihood of him winning is actually statistically quite high.
Yeah.
When was his last loss against Orton?
Yeah, and even at that, he won the title later on that night. So
I mean, I'm gonna say Cesaro, but I mean, could be. It is probably the only real match on the card that I look at and go, oh, that's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Because they could hand Rollins the initial victory with Cesaro then going over later on the feud to extend it.
Yeah.
Because they haven't really they shoehorn Nakamura in here into the Rollins situation as well for a bit, and we've seen how that ended as well, So we'd see how things transpire, but hopefully Cesaro.
Yeah, so all three of us unanimously going for a big Cesaro. So move on anyway. Let's see, steel cage match, Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. As I said to Daryl, I'll probably go for a shite during this match. So who do you reckon's winning? We'll just keep this one short and sweet.
Shane McMahon, because he's a McMahon and the narcissism is real.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. I always just have that thing in the back of my head when a big person fights a small person in a cage, they'll slam them into the wall and the small person will roll out and win, that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So
I never said Shane McMahon would dominate Braun Strowman.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I wouldn't be outside shenanigans or some shit. Braun Strowman could literally throw him to the moon, but because he escaped the cage,
there you go. You have your winner.
If he hit the floor first, you've got your winner.
Yeah.
Although Reigns won a cage match, even though Lesnar retained, his feet hit the floor first, and Lesnar was the one who retained. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they make up the rules as they go along nowadays anyway. So,
damn right.
Yeah, so I'll move on. Raw Tag Team Championship match. New Day against AJ Styles and Omos. Who's your prediction for that one?
I don't care about this feud. Which is heartbreaking because there's some at least 3 or 4 of these lads are fucking stellar. New Day to retain, AJ and Omos to break up.
Right on. Like that. Let me see. Next one, tag team match. Miz and Morrison against Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. Who'd you have for this one?
Bad Bunny and Damian Priest.
Yeah, it's the only thing that kind of makes sense, isn't it? Like realistically, they're not going to pay this man to come in and lose at WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean?
Also to break up John Morrison and Miz with any luck. With Morrison turning on the Miz, and Miz is naturally dislikable, so he'll come out and still be heel. So
that'd be whopper, actually. Yeah.
Fuck him.
Let me see. Next one. WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley going in defending his title against Drew McIntyre. What's your pick for that one?
You see, WWE fucking love white people. And we already had like they rotated. I think Kofi won against Daniel Bryan in the last
2 years ago, wasn't it?
interracial feud. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with McIntyre.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying because I'd love to see Lashley retain. I think now Lashley will retain. And Daryl thought Lashley will retain due to the Hurt Business getting involved, whether there's a new member or whether it's all the big rules with Shelton and thing to help him out. We'll see what happens anyway. Either way, I'm actually looking forward to this match.
Keith Lee to interfere and join the Hurt Business, please, and then take the title off Riddle.
I'd love it. I'd love nothing more. Let me see. So main event from night one. Now again, obviously it might not be the main event. We're just saying this. So Sasha Banks defending our SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. What's the call for that one?
Again, the Ryan's been on the wall. I can't help but immediately gravitate towards Belair, but the last 3 weeks of booking have been very poor. I can actually see Banks retaining, and because you remember the last person who won a Women's Royal Rumble, not the last person, the first person, Asuka. She lost against Charlotte. So I'm gonna say Banks to retain and maintain status on SmackDown.
Right on. Great show, actually. That's about Asuka as well. Completely forgot about that. Now we're on to. But you know what? I did the exact same mistake as well earlier with Daryl, so I'll do it here again.
No.
So we finished night one just there. That was the end of night one on Saturday. Completely forgot about the SmackDown edition or the WrestleMania edition of SmackDown. So we'll hit them two matches real quick. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. My pick for a winner was either what was it? Who did I pick? I picked Nakamura or Buddy Murphy just off the top of my head, and then I actually can't even remember who Daryl picked. I'll play it here.
I'd love you.
Yeah.
Insert Daryl's face.
Yeah.
It's a bit poxy because like we talked about how stacked the division is.
I remember who he picked. He picked Dominic Dijakovic. He thinks all the Retribution lads will come out as their own people again. Yeah, so he thinks it's going to be Dijakovic, and he's just going to cement himself as like a big time mid carder now on Raw because they need it. They don't have a mid card, so I was like, that makes a hell of a lot of sense, to be honest with you.
It does. Raw feels very thin at the minute. I like Dijakovic. I think that would be a good shout, but I also think he doesn't have any relative momentum going into it the way like Cesaro did, the way Big Show or Strowman did, the way who else won on Andre the Giant?
Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Like we can argue about how shite we all feel he can be at times and Brian's on you, but like at the end of the day, he did have a lot of momentum going into that. I had two, which is if they're not going to plan the whole for business Keith Lee, it'll be Keith Lee. Otherwise, I could see Jey Uso taking home a W for the Simones. So
great shout as well. Actually, completely forgot about Jey Uso. That'd be savage. One of those two. Yeah, keep the momentum going. And then the Fatal 4-Way tag match then, Street Profits against Mysterios, against the defending champs Dirty Dogs, and against the Alpha Academy. My pick for this one was the Mysterios for that kind of father and son moment. That was just my pick, yeah.
Mine's on Street Profits to lose to Alpha Academy. Always picking up all the big moves.
Oh, savage. Nice.
Yeah. I think they'll get the other two lads out of the ring fairly sharpish because they are the ring veterans, and I think they want to let the younger talent shine a little bit because keeping the strap on them two lads, Xavier's in the business a very fucking long time. So is Mysterio. They really don't need any of those.
No,
belts.
they don't. No, absolutely not. Yeah,
in my opinion, anyway.
And it'll really establish then the likes of the Alpha Academy who've been great lately. Now
bring back Jason Jordan.
Yeah, on to night two. Jason Angle. On to night two now. Let me see. So we'll start off tag team women's championship match. You actually already said your pick for that. Whoever wins the gauntlet is going to win.
Tamina and Natalya.
Yeah, Tamina and Natalya. Yeah. So we'll just go straight past that one's out. Next one, United States Championship match. Riddle defending the title against Sheamus. What's your pick for that
one? Sheamus has been on a losing streak. So my gut instinct is telling me that it will be Sheamus.
Yeah.
I want an interesting callback to his 15-second win against Daniel Bryan, and I'd love to see him lose in around the same time. not because of anything other than just trying to win too fast. Like he'll go for a fast bro kick and then Riddle will just literally dodge him, hit him, and then fucking and smash him. That would be entertaining. But I genuinely think Riddle will lose. I think Riddle will pick up a very like this is going to be just a slugfest anyway.
Oh
The
yeah,
lads are just
beaten.
going to beat the shit out of one another. I don't want to see Sheamus go over too strong though. I want to see him fucking struggle to get the win and make his losing streak kind of mean something.
Yeah.
And then they can belt up a little. There's absolutely no problem with doing that between the two because they can go. Sheamus been on a tear the last while as well in terms of like his feud with Drew McIntyre and like I genuinely think as far as people deserving belts, he does deserve it. I'm not saying Riddle doesn't. I think Riddle has been great with the TV time he's been given, but I do want to see him move on to feuds with a bit more depth. So if he's going to stay in this one, Sheamus needs to win it.
Savage. Let me see. Next up, then Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn with Logan Paul in his corner. Yeah, who's your pick for this one, Glenn?
Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens had gone on a very good tear in the early years. This is a feud that has substance. This is a feud that you can't just have a babyface win on the first one unless you're going to have the heel snap and fucking lose it, which could very, like we've seen Sami Zayn play the whole unhinged thing the last little while. I see maybe an involvement with Logan Paul out of maybe fear Zayn, or he might accidentally make the wrong distraction type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think keeping Sami Zayn's, against the system losing feud, thing now, I think that'd be a bad move. So I am going to say Zayn to win due to shenanigans.
Right on, like that. I do think, I think Logan Paul will have some part to play in it as well, yeah. We will move on. The Nigerian drum fight, which is also just known as a hardcore match, as they said on Raw, I think just gone, which is bizarre, but okay. Big E defending the...
It's also called a street fight.
Yeah, no DQ, false count anywhere, whatever you want to call it. No holds barred. So yeah, Big E defended the IC title.
Stick on a pole.
Judy Bagwell on a pole. Big E defended the IC title against Apollo Crews. What you have for this? Who's the pick?
Crews. It's Crews all day. There's no way you build Crews the way he's been built, giving him all this material. As funny as his accent can be at times, he's been built very strongly, very well written. Probably, arguably, the most well written, thought out kind of character in terms of the promos, in terms of the interaction. Like we were chatting about comparing feuds the other day, and it's like, yeah, these two lads are stood, half a ring away, and they barely stare each other down. They want to kill each other, but they won't even fucking throw a slap. And then you have Big E literally golf carting his way over to beat the shit out of Apollo Crews. This is going to be, again, I think this one's going to be harder hitting than the Riddle and Thing match. I hope it gets enough time, and I want to see Apollo Crews come out very fucking strong, very aggressive. I want this to be the that looks like it would hurt you type of match,
Yeah, I think this could be the crown of moment for Apollo Crews. I think he's he killed it on the Indies, great in WWE and NXT and stuff. Like, he is great in the ring, and now he's found a character he can sink his teeth into. As you said, well written, great heel. And it's as you said, that well written heel is few and far between nowadays, because like everyone kind of leans on the chicken shit heel. So this whole aggressive, I don't care if WrestleMania is next week. I'm not gonna duck you. I'm gonna go after you. That's great to see. So yeah, Apollo Crews, savage. Now we will move on. The Fiend against Randy Orton. What's your pick for this one?
The Fiend, Randy Orton hasn't been the face in it, and although his record at Mania is stellar, he just shouldn't win this one. He's already beaten Bray Wyatt before. Have to go with the Fiend. I can't see Randy Orton winning another throwaway Mania match. It's going to be a gimmick match for sure, but I want to see. I said it to you the other day. I love nothing more than to see a replica of the last Firefly Funhouse match, but it's pointing out Randy Orton's version of John Cena's life story. I'd love nothing more.
Yeah,
like compare Orton to being the Rock out of Rock and Austin. Compare Orton to being the Triple H. Compare Orton to being the fucking the Scott Hall to Hogan, or whoever you have to compare to be like almost top of the mountain, but he wasn't John Cena. That would be high. I'd love that. I'd love nothing more than that. Rich deep lore, please.
Yeah, Savage. Yeah, we're all unanimous on the Fiend winning. It just makes the most sense. Daryl has a cool idea with obviously Randy Orton been coughing up the black gunk lately, He thinks it's almost going to be some sort of possession thing where Randy Orton's faced with the true Randy Orton almost, and then the Fiend, like he'll basically do the Fiend's bidding then going forward. Another shout that Daryl threw out was if Karrion Kross came up, that like Karrion Kross against Randy Orton when Randy Orton's doing the Fiend's bidding, and almost like Karrion Kross has to get through Randy Orton in its own field to get to the Fiend would be pretty cool as well. So there's a lot you can do with it. So hopefully, yeah, the match provides such lore, as you said. So
deep, rich lore.
Yeah,
Daddy video is a shout out for your next lore video on Randy Orton the Fiend.
So we'll move on to the next one. Raw Women's Championship. Asuka against Rhea Ripley. Who'd you have for this one?
Ripley.
Yeah, all day. Why
would you have her debut and then lose?
Yeah, and especially
actually that's very WWE.
True, but Asuka's been losing like all the time, so I'm hoping we have Ripley beat her. Asuka can't make her tap out to the Asuka lock, stuff like that, and it kind of frustrates her, and then she realizes she's stagnated because she hasn't been doing anything. And Ripley walks away with the belt, and Asuka has to have a rebuild of the Empress. I'd love it.
Yeah. Just on the finish, I have a feeling like they'll hit each other with their big moves. They'll both be exhausted. Asuka will snap on an Asuka lock, but then Ripley will be Asuka, very similar to how Becky Lynch beat Shayna Baszler. She'll roll through and pin her.
Savage. That's a great shout as well. Yeah, because again, it's that like wiliness or like awareness that you
Hunger,
don't
that fucking
exactly
fight
you have
for
to
survival.
Win. Yeah, you just have to win by any means. That makes sense. And then on to the main event of night 2, the big juicy Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Edge versus Daniel Bryan. The match that is melting everybody's brains right now because all three guys can actually win it and go on and do their own individual thing. So who do you have for this one?
So I have an interesting one for this on foot of our recent kind of bookings and fantasy bookings, but more in line with how they've done it. I have a feeling that Edge will somehow find a way of taking out Roman Reigns in the middle of the match. Like chaining him down or sellotaping him to a fucking lamppost or something. Just something to take him out, right? And what will happen is, because we've had a lot of heel victories over the nights where it doesn't feel like anyone's getting their true babyface moment, Daniel Bryan will have the bell locked in on Edge, but Edge won't tap out. He will pass out, and Roman Reigns will dive into the ring at the last possible second for the ref only to ring the bell. And then for Bryan to be fucking exhausted, Edge to be passed out, and Roman Reigns to basically look like he's going to fucking lose it, like he's going to snap. And just sit there looking at these two lads who, like he got taken out. And I'd say that's what's going to create this level of tension around the title picture that will maintain momentum going forward after Mania. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought having Edge just simply snap and take a victory. If he's face Edge, it's very, feel good. Oh yeah, he returned, he triumphed an injury and stuff like that. And while I see that, I genuinely would like that more than my own decision here. One thing kind of stifles it. For Edge to win, he's not pinning Reigns. It means Daniel Bryan would have to eat it, and that immediately removes him out of the picture going forward, unless we get heel Edge. And I think we've had so many. Like, I'm fairly certain if the writing is on the wall the way it is for most of the championship matches, we're getting like 2 face wins across that entire like echelon of WWE, like, and they don't do that really. They're usually pretty 50-50 with bad guy wins here, good guy wins here. I know they don't care about some of the divisions, so maybe they don't care whether they're good or bad, but maybe they also don't care who wins as long as they're good to make way for a bad guy winning. And I'd love to see Edge win. I would, but I feel like if this is Daniel Bryan's last run, they'll have Edge take the belt off Bryan in a singles match. Maybe.
So you reckon Bryan's going to win?
I think Bryan's going to win, yeah. Just because I think everyone's going to say Edge. I had a feeling you and Daryl might have, so I was thinking, look, I'll go against Graham and say Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daryl said Edge. I said Roman Reigns would retain. And then you're saying Daniel Bryan. So
spicy.
So that's good. All three of us, completely opposite directions there. So that's our WrestleMania predictions. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, it all kind of came out right in terms of everyone kind of getting edited in there, and it worked okay. But yeah, that's our WrestleMania predictions. Super excited Christmas for a wrestling fan, I suppose you could say. the kind of meat and potatoes of the WrestleMania week kind of starts now tonight with NXT Takeover. We have our predictions video up there. Me and Glenn did that about a week ago. So we have that already up on the channel if you want to check it out, or go back and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. And then we'll throw this up, and hope you enjoy WrestleMania. But before we go, if you like the video, drop a like. Let us know your predictions in the comments below, or if you're listening to this week at your podcasts, drop a follow there as well. Hit us up on the socials, Discus Lariat on Twitter and Discus Lariat Collective on Instagram. And then until next time, see you soon.